For those of you calling in, please ensure that you have muted your phone line and silenced your phone. First, we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Commissioner O'Grady.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Happy Military Family Month. There are more than 2 million active duty and reserve members of the U.S. Armed Forces and nearly 20 million living American military veterans, but no one serves alone. Everyone in uniform and every veteran represents a family at home that has supported them so that they can serve our nation. We here in Franklin County recognize that our service members' families share in the sacrifices they make and provide the support from home that allows them to serve our country so faithfully. The Franklin County Veteran Services Commission provides support for vets and their families here in Central Ohio and can be found online at vets.franklincountyohio.gov. And as a military veteran, I definitely can attest to the fact that it would be very difficult to serve and serve this country, whether domestically or abroad, if not for our family members who support that service or send care packages or emails. I was in the Navy, so when we're underway or as we've had times of war during conflict, just to let us know that we're being thought of, that we're loved and cared for. It means a lot. And so thank you to all of the military families, veteran families, spouses, and friends who support our service. November is also National Adoption Month, and a great opportunity to bring attention to both the joys and challenges that adopters and adoptees sometimes face. At any given time, there are more than 100,000 young people in America who are at risk of aging out of foster care without permanent family connections. More than half of them are boys. Their average age is 8 years old, but more than 20% are teenagers. And their average time in foster care is more than 2.5 years. There are thousands of wonderful kiddos in need of foster care, adoption, and kinship care right here in Ohio. To learn more about these options and how you can make an amazing difference in the life of a young person, visit childrenservices.franklincountyohio.gov or fosterandadopt.jfs.ohio.gov. That's very long. fosterandadopt.jfs.ohio.gov. And I just always want to put a plug for CASA, or Court-Appointed Special Advocate for Children. I volunteered with CASA and then ended up working for CASA after 2 years of volunteering. And that's an opportunity to represent the best interest of our kiddos that are in the foster care system, who are there because of abuse and neglect. And until they can find a permanent home, and as they are going through the judicial process, it always helps to have a CASA or a GAL, a guardian ad litem, who is there to be that steadfast in that kiddo's life, who's usually there longer than case workers, as that time sometimes changes often, but a CASA volunteer can help find permanency for a kiddo that's in care. So please consider volunteering your time with CASA. And lastly, I want to recognize No Shave November, which is an opportunity to promote cancer awareness, mental health resources, and suicide prevention for men who die on average 5 years earlier than women from largely preventable causes. About 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. It's responsible for almost 35,000 deaths in America each year, and Black men are twice as likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer than white men. Meanwhile, men make up 49% of the population, but account for 80% of suicides. Around the world, 1 man dies by suicide every minute. Many will be putting away their razors this month to help bring awareness of these preventable causes of death and the resources that are available to our brothers, sons, fathers, and husbands throughout the community. Fortunately, prostate cancer is very treatable when detected early, and mental health and suicide prevention resources are available too. Franklin County residents can find a whole suite of free mental health resources at franklincountyohio.crediblemmind.com. the new nationwide suicide hotline available by dialing 988, and don't forget to get all of your recommended cancer screenings. And I don't know if my colleagues want to talk about No Shave November. I know that they participate in it.
Well, I didn't shave this morning.
Okay.
This is about the, I don't know, 6th or 7th year in a row I've done this, so I'll get a little scruffy and uglier than normal over the next month or so, and I will certainly have a full beard by the end of the month, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't have a full beard by the end of the month. It would take me 5 years to grow something. I don't know, but it's the principle of the conversation. I mean, I definitely know the impact of cancer, mental health, suicide. All of those things are very real.
Yeah.
And statistically, for Black men in America, generally stand out even as outliers in every category. And so it's something that I hope that we will do additional posts in our social media for the Board of Commissioners. I hope that it's something that everyone will promote in their own social media venues, and then and just make people aware of getting screened for certain things, getting the help that they need for mental health. And, finally, I'll just say that the last couple of years have been extraordinarily different when it comes to mental health at every level. You just see it everywhere. And I ran into a gentleman on the sidewalk yesterday, and I was quite moved by what was happening with him, but it reminded me of so much more that we need to do in the area of mental health, and so hopefully the awareness creates an environment where people will seek the help and attention that they need, and that we'll do more to provide those resources where people perhaps can afford the kind of coverage that they need. So with that, thank you, Madam President, for recognizing this important topic.
Commissioner Boyce and I have done this for a while, and we certainly both have felt the impact of not only cancer and suicide, but in our lives and plenty of folks that we know. But we've this board for years has promoted the need for mental health care and mental health services, and we do it not only here in Franklin County, but with the services that we push for and work for statewide and at NACA. And so it's an important issue. So growing a beard's easy. Well, for me, I have to shave every day. If I don't, I look pretty bad. But it's an easy thing to do, and it's an easy symbol. And so, doing No Shave November is actually something that we do so that we can promote this. But it's important. It's an important. These are important issues.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I had the perfect Browns crack, but I'm not going to say it. I'm going to let all those Brown fans enjoy their victory, Madam President. It's just going to sit back and let them have their moment.
Everybody should.
That's
have an
very much.
opportunity
That's very
to,
much
like,
unlike you, Commissioner
But
Boyce.
no.
I'm newfound, gracefulness here, so.
Yeah, I
going
mean,
to
everybody deserves to win
just-
every once a decade, I guess. So, too.
I love these Steelers fans.
So,
They're
yeah,
being so gracious.
Maybe they'll
It's
make the playoffs.
newfound graciousness.
Yeah.
It's
This one victory, maybe they'll make the playoffs. I don't know.
Is this what happens when your team can't win any games?
No,
all of
I
a
mean,
sudden become gracious.
It will reflect well on
Good
the
Lord.
state and
All right, let's move on
validate
with
your
the agenda.
reason for still being a Browns fan.
Let's move on. to the
Okay,
agenda.
first
You two
up,
are
we
too
have prosecuting attorney.
Resolution number 79622. Resolution authorizing an application to the Franklin County Court of Common Pleas for employment of Carl Davis Esquire, Beverly Stewart Esquire, Barry Ward Esquire, J. Michael Evans Esquire, Greg DuPont Esquire, Paul Friedman Esquire, Susan Gwen Esquire, Kelly Patton Esquire, and Danielle Pierce Esquire to serve as special counsel to the legal counsel to the Alcohol, Drug, and Mental Health Board of Franklin County.
Good morning. On behalf of Prosecutor Tyak, Janine Hummer, First Assistant and Chief Counsel, you have before you the necessary resolution in order for the prosecutor's office to apply to Franklin County Common Pleas Court for these individuals to serve as special counsel to Adam H. You also have online a representative from Adam H. that can explain further the need for special counsel. It's my understanding that these individuals have a specialty with regard to probate law and matters relating to Adam H.
Madam President, may I ask a question? Yeah. So is this normal? I don't recall ever seeing this kind of resolution. Is this, we always do this? Is this something unique and special?
It is not unique. It is something that we were able to determine is necessary for following the proper process.
Okay, thank you.
Well, if there are no further comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 79622.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 79622 has been adopted. Resolution number 79722, resolution authorizing the settlement of legal claims brought in the United States District Court, Southern District of Ohio, being case number 219 CV04238.
Good morning, Commissioners. On behalf of Prosecutor Tyak, I'm Teresa Dean, the Deputy Director of Labor and Employment for the Prosecutor's Office. This resolution we're requesting authorization for the settlement of legal claims brought by Mario Marcus, an employee at the Sheriff's Office, made against the Sheriff's Office related to race discrimination. The settlement authorizes the complaint to be dismissed with prejudice, and there's no admission of liability on the part of the county, the Sheriff's Office, or any of its employees. The resolution is intended to avoid any time and expense of further litigation, and we would ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 79722.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 79722 has been adopted.
Thank you. Next up, we have the recorder.
Resolution number 79822, resolution authorizing the set-aside for the Recorder's Technology Fund for calendar year 2023.
Morning. I don't think our regular presenter's here, so I can fill in for him. I'm Javier Gonzalez, Deputy Fiscal Officer with the Recorder's Office. Today, I'm submitting on behalf of the Franklin County Recorder's Office the following proposal for the Recording Technology Fund. We request that beginning January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, an amount equal to $4 of the base fee collected for filing or recording a document be placed in the Recorder's Technology Fund. This represents a renewal of the same fee amount that was allocated for 2022. 2023 estimated revenues for recording fees collected is $11.8 million. Half of all those fees allocated to the Housing Trust Fund, with the remaining half, of the remainder, this would propose an estimated $740,000 allocated to the Recorder's Technology Fund. The fees represent more than 185,000 documents that are anticipated to be recorded. And the fee uses are for providing technology needs of the Recorder's filing program, upgrades and replacement for technology equipment, supplemental to, as a supplement to general fund allocations for the County Microfilming Board, and as a supplement for personnel that are directly related to imaging and other technological equipment. A breakdown of the 2023 budgeted expenses for equipment and related materials and services is attached to this proposal as Exhibit A. Pending any questions, we'd ask that you approve this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 79822.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 79822 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have the sheriff.
Resolution number 79922, Resolution authorizing first contract extension and modification with Bob Barker Company Incorporated, White Feather Farms of Ohio Incorporated, Performance Food Group Incorporated, Care Supplies LLC, Union Supply Group Incorporated, and McKee Foods Corporation for the continuation of providing commissary items for resale in the Franklin County Correctional Facilities in the amount of $950,000.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administration. Albert Smith, Assistant Finance Director for the Sheriff's Office. This resolution approves a contract modification extension through September 15th of next year with 6 vendors to supply commissary items for resale. These items will be resold to inmates in both jail facilities with proceeds used to benefit the inmates while incarcerated. Pending any questions, I request passage of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 79922.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 79922 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Next up, we have the treasurer.
Resolution number 800-22, resolution authorizing a non-general fund supplemental appropriation for the Franklin County Land Bank.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Julie Collins, and I'm the Director of Human Resources for the Franklin County Treasurer. The Franklin County Treasurer's Office is seeking supplemental appropriations in the amount of $659,432 from the Delinquent Tax Assessment and Collection Fund to provide funding for the second half payment to the Central Ohio Community Improvement Corporation. 5% of all collections of delinquent real property, personal property, and manufactured and mobile home taxes and assessments are allocated to the DTAC fund to be dispersed to the Central Ohio Community Improvement Corporation to support the operations of the Franklin County Land Bank as stated in Resolution 268-12. These funds will provide ongoing funding to COCIC to continue their efforts towards creating and preserving affordable housing for the residents of Franklin County, and we respectfully ask for your approval. Thank you.
Madam President, I do have a question. Are these funds, it says supplemental, so are these funds a result of better performance in the tax collection? And
Yes.
so that's how it's allocated? Okay. All
Yes.
right. And that is just to be clear, that is a fee that comes from the land transfers, land purchases, or?
Well, I would need to get back with you on that, but I do believe that
Maybe Zach
Zach would probably know.
Delaric knows.
Zach.
Good morning, Commissioners. Yes, so the 5% comes from the collection of delinquent taxes during the first and second half collections. So the 5% gets split evenly between the Treasurer and Prosecutor's Office for collection of delinquent taxes. 5% gets allocated for the land bank, and then the remaining 90% gets allocated to the political subdivisions based on the tax duplicate.
Great. So what we're really getting at, so we are collecting delinquent taxes at a higher rate, or is it an implication that more taxes are going delinquent? And so I'm just trying to figure out kind of what's happening in the broader scope of why there's a higher performance.
I think more was collected higher, especially in the first half settlement. Again, I don't know if some of that might be with the real estate market, before a home sells, that the delinquent taxes need to be paid, but that's something we can definitely continue working with the Treasurer and Auditor's Office.
Well, and I also think it's because in 2020, we didn't have a tax lien sale, but we did in 2021. And those proceeds of those sales actually go towards the first quarter collection, or the first half collection.
Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting statistical point, and something I think we should just keep our eye on in terms of trying to prepare for economic changes in our own pro forma here. So I think it was interesting. I wouldn't have expected it to be so much. So thank you for clarifying. Thank you, Madam President.
If there are no further comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 800-22.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 800-22 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great one. Next up, we have EMA.
Resolution number 80122, resolution authorizing a contract with Paraton Rematech for the provision of the delivery and supply of a bomb squad robot and equipment for the Franklin County Sheriff's Office Bomb FBI Certified Region 4 Bomb Squad in the amount of $378,732.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jeff Young, representing Franklin County Emergency Management and Homeland Security. The resolution before you is to approve a contract with Paraton Rematech for the purchase of a replacement bomb squad robot for the Franklin County Sheriff's Office through a state Homeland Security grant. The Sheriff's Office staffs one of 2 FBI certified bomb squads within our 15-county Homeland Security region. As part of that certification and best practice, a bomb squad robot is a required piece of equipment for any bomb or explosive response and assessment team, allowing the trained personnel to operate remotely to any likely or confirmed explosive device. The existing bomb robot has exceeded its service life and is not reliable or consistent with current technology, necessitating its replacement. The state Homeland Security grant-funded piece of equipment was procured with the assistance of Franklin County Purchasing through a competitive RFP and contract approved to form by the Franklin County Prosecutor's Office, as well as by Ohio Emergency Management Grants Division, with Paraton Rematech being selected as the lowest and best provider. The original grant request and award was intended to fully fund the purchase of the robot system plus the necessary accessories, but due to inflationary price increases, the grant award will only fund the robot and its operating control system, encompassing 78% of the project costs, with the Franklin County Sheriff's Office funding the purchase of the accessories. I will gladly answer any questions you may have and ask for your approval of this resolution.
Director, is this, sorry, Madam President, is it? Director, is this, sorry, Director, is this, first, are you replacing the robot that's, looks like Johnny Five?
I would say yes.
And are you replacing it with another similar model?
It is. It is as close to the existing model, same manufacturer, just with upgraded technology and within its service life and the ability to service it by the original equipment manufacturer.
Gotcha, okay. Thanks. If there are no other comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 80122.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 80122 has been adopted.
Thank you, Director.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Next up, we have Economic Development and Planning.
Resolution number 80222, resolution authorizing the Board of Franklin County Commissioners to sign the attached discharge of mortgage instrument for Noah Hall and Verna L. Hall at 2640 Mill Race Drive, Columbus, Ohio, 43207.
Good morning. I'm Julissa Tirushalvam, Administrative Assistant 2 for EDP. Noah Hall and Verna L. Hall received on November 4th, 2010 from Franklin County a home loan for $4,310 on real estate, commonly known as 2640 Mill Race Drive, Columbus, Ohio. The requirements of the housing loan have been satisfied, the property taxes are paid and current, and I respectfully request the approval of the discharge of mortgage on this property.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 80222.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 80222 has been adopted. Resolution number 80322, resolution authorizing the Board of Franklin County Commissioners to sign the attached discharge of mortgage instrument for Karen R. Michael at 3818 Earl Avenue, Township of Mifflin, Ohio, 43219.
Karen R. Michael received on April 25th, 2006 from Franklin County a home loan for $776.25 on real estate, commonly known as 3818 Earl Avenue, Mifflin Township. The requirements of the housing loan have been satisfied, and I respectfully request the approval of the discharge of mortgage on this property.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 80322.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 80322 has been adopted. Resolution number 80422. Resolution authorizing the Board of Franklin County Commissioners to sign the attached discharge of mortgage instrument for Danita Oxley at 3830 Armith Avenue, Mifflin Township, Ohio 43219.
Anita Oxley received on October 24th, 2006 from Franklin County a home loan for $2,910 on real estate, commonly known as 3830 Armouth Avenue, Mifflin Township. The requirements for the housing loan have been satisfied and the property taxes are paid and current, and I respectfully request the approval of the discharge of mortgage on this property.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 80422.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 80422 has been adopted. Resolution number 80522. Resolution authorizing the Board of Franklin County Commissioners to sign the attached discharge of mortgage instrument for Ken Walls at 3717 Plainview Drive, Township of Franklin, Ohio 43204.
Anwal received on October 21st, 2019 from Franklin County a home loan for $13,137 on real estate, commonly known as 3717 Plainview Drive, Franklin Township. The requirements of the housing loan have been satisfied, and I respectfully request the approval of the discharge of mortgage on this property.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 80522.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 80522 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Me too.
Thanks. Next, we have Job and Family Services.
Resolution number 80622. Resolution approving agreements with the Community Mediation Services of Central Ohio and the Legal Aid Society of Columbus for housing stabilization services and legal assistance in the amount of $440,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Vivian Turner, Chief Administrator, Franklin County Job and Family Services. There are too many Franklin County renters facing the threat of eviction. It's costly, complicated, and an intimidating process. Whether trying to navigate the court system, negotiating time with their landlords in order to apply for and obtain rental assistance, or just to understand their rights and obligations. Community Mediation Services provide support for TANF-eligible residents facing eviction. Their 2-hour eviction prevention education workshop targets tenants at high risk of eviction and those experiencing homelessness who would be seeking housing in the future. Since the program's inception, 85% of the individuals served maintain their current housing and/or successfully relocate to alternative stable housing and avoid the need for emergency shelter. This funding will allow Community Mediation Services to continue to provide both tenant and landlord mediation and eviction prevention training for approximately 600 low-income residents. The Legal Aid Society provides a wide range of legal services to low-income families, including counsel and advice, support in administrative and court cases, as well as appeals. Legal services are made available to low-income families in need of housing, family law, consumer and tax, immigration and naturalization services, and reentry support. Under this agreement, the Legal Aid Society will continue to provide all of the services noted above, with an emphasis on housing and eviction prevention services for an estimated 94 residents. Pending any questions, we request your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 80622.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 80622 has been adopted. Resolution number 80722. Resolution approving a subaward agreement with Columbus Urban League for a workforce suiting program in the amount of $35,000.
Commissioners, My Brother's Closet is a workplace suiting program administered by the Urban League, targeting TANF eligible men who are unemployed, underemployed, or lack resources to obtain professional attire. The men referred to My Brother's Closet are able to access professional development training, soft skills workshops, and one-on-one career counseling, interview and training, and much more. Since 2018, My Brother's Closet has assisted approximately 450 men. Under the proposed agreement, My Brother's Closet will target 120 TANF eligible men for service. This resolution supports goal number 4 of your Rise Together blueprint, and pending any questions, we request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 80722.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 80722 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners, and have a wonderful Tuesday.
You do
You
the
too.
same.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, public facilities management.
Resolution number 80922. Resolution authorizing the county administrator to execute a modification to the contract agreement with Omni Fireproofing Company LLC to perform additional fireproofing activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Corrections Center Continuation Phase 2A in the amount of the contract not to exceed $97,235, and authorizing the county administrator to approve and execute additional minor modifications to the contract agreement in the amount of $774,888.
Good morning, Commissioners. Darla Reardon, Director, Public Facilities Management. In February of 2021, Omni Fireproofing Company LLC was awarded a contract agreement to perform fireproofing activities associated with the construction of the continuation phase of the new Franklin County Corrections Center. This resolution authorizes a modification of the contract agreement with Omni to perform additional fireproofing activities associated with the construction of the new Rapid Resource Center at the Corrections Center. PFM and the construction team have been closely collaborating with the Office of Justice Policy and Programs on the new Rapid Resource Center. As you are aware, the Correction Center construction project has an established small and emerging business enterprise aspirational goal of 12%. This project remains on track to exceed the aspirational goal with a SEBE commitment of 30.19%, approximately $89.4 million as of September 30th of this year. Pending any questions, PFM respectfully requests your approval of this contract modification with Omni Fireproofing Company LLC. Thank you.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 80922.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 80922 has been adopted. Resolution number 81022. Resolution authorizing recycling of information technology equipment declared obsolete by the Franklin County Automatic Data Processing Board.
Periodically, this agency is asked by the Data Processing Board to assist with the disposal of obsolete surplus IT equipment. We do so in a manner consistent with this board's commitment to promote sustainable principles in our policy decisions and programs. Pending any questions, we request your approval to dispose of this e-waste. Thank you.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 81022.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 81022 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day. Purchasing.
Resolution number 81122. Resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $2,478,718.51.
Good morning, Commissioners. Megan Perry Balanier, Director of Purchasing, and joining me is D'Amica Withers, Chief Economic Equity and Inclusion Officer in the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Commissioners, this resolution requests your approval of 71 purchase orders for which the county auditor has pre-certified available funding. Chief Withers has the supplier diversity data for this week. Good morning, D'Amica.
Good morning, Megan, and good morning, Commissioners. Commissioners, with your approval, 3 of the purchase orders being presented today will be awarded to 2 small emergent businesses and 1 women business enterprise totaling $10,452.17. 3 agencies have increased their supplier diversity this week, which includes emergency management, justice policy and programs, domestic relations, and juvenile court. We respectfully request your approval on this resolution.
Hey, just before you move for a passage, Commissioner O'Grady, Madam President, just for the record, there is the attachment that's usually on the purchasing that kind of lists out the vendors is not on here. And so I'm okay with supporting it, but I want to say that for the record, it's not on here, and that's generally helpful. So it's usually like the itemized sheet follows right after the resolution, so.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'm supposing you're referring to the individual batches for each of the agencies? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Apologies for that. Thank you so much. We'll make sure that is attached.
It's helpful just because we want to make sure that there are no conflicts for anybody, and so it's always a helpful thing.
Oh, you just went back.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
All right, if there are no further comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 81122.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 81122 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one. Next up, we have Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 81222. Resolution authorizing an application to the State of Ohio to participate in the State Capital Improvement Program for local jail projects.
Good morning, Commissioners. Zach Telerik with the Office of Management and Budget. Substitute House Bill 687 of the 134th General Assembly provided $50 million in funding for local governments to apply for the use toward construction or renovation of county jails. This resolution would authorize the submission of an application before the November 30th deadline for dollars in that. The application plans to request up to $10 million if funding is available. Pending any questions, would ask for approval of this resolution.
I do have a question. Is it for, well, I mean, we still have an additional phase, so could it be used for the additional building of the jail, or are there any restrictions around the
Right.
funding?
So
that
the
would be
application
available?
is focused on the Fisher Road facility as part of that construction.
Oh, okay. So, okay,
Phase 2.
Yes.
Gotcha.
okay. Thank
If there
you.
are no further comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 81222.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 81222 has been adopted. Resolution number 81322. Resolution authorizing a maintenance agreement with Sherpa Government Solutions LLC for the budget system in the amount of $247,065.
Commissioners, this resolution would authorize a 5-year maintenance agreement for the county's budget system. The current system was selected in 2016 through a request for a proposal process and includes maintenance which ran through October 31st of this year. The software streamlines agency and OMB budget activities and is integrated with the county's accounting system. Pending any questions, would ask your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, I'll move approval of Resolution 81322.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 81322 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Resolution number 81422, a resolution approving the issuance of Michigan Finance Authority hospital revenue and refunding bonds, Trinity Health Credit Group, in one or more series in an original aggregate principal amount not to exceed $900 million.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Josh Grossman with Dinsmore and Scholl, and have with me on Zoom today Andy Priday. He's the CFO of Mount Carmel Health System. This resolution is being presented in connection with this public hearing, which is now officially open for federal tax purposes and is required under the federal tax code for purposes of granting applicable elected representative approval for tax-exempt bond issuances. The proposed transaction here involves the issuance by the Michigan Finance Authority of one or more series of its hospital revenue bonds in an aggregate principal amount that will not exceed $900 million, and those proceeds will benefit Trinity Health Corporation, which is an Indiana nonprofit corporation, and the sole member of Mount Carmel Health System, an Ohio nonprofit corporation. If approved, up to $15 million of these proceeds will be spent here in Franklin County at 5 of Mount Carmel's facilities, including Mount Carmel East and Corporate Service Center, Mount Carmel St. Anne's, Mount Carmel Grove City, Mount Carmel Medical Group Reynoldsburg, and Mount Carmel College of Nursing. And the proceeds are expected to be used mainly for routine maintenance and equipment at these facilities. It's important to note that Franklin County is not the issuer of these bonds. The Michigan Finance Authority is the issuer here. The bonds will not be a general obligation of the county and will not be a pledge of the faith and credit or taxing power of the county, but rather are special revenue obligations of the hospital system. And again, we are asking for host jurisdiction approval or applicable elected representative approval, as certain of the facilities are located here in Franklin County. And under the federal tax code, the commissioners, as the applicable elected representatives of the county, must authorize the use of bond proceeds to be spent here. So pending any questions, we'll close this federal tax code required public hearing portion and respectfully ask that you approve this resolution.
Well, if there are no comments or questions, I will move approval of Resolution 81422.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner O'Grady,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawley.
Yes.
Resolution number 81422 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, do we have any journalizations?
Yes, there are 3. The first, case number ANX-34-22, an expedited Type 2 annexation petition, ANX-34-22, was filed with the Franklin County Economic Development and Planning Department on October 24th, 2022. The petition is requesting to annex 0.47 acres from Franklin Township to the City of Columbus. The petition will be considered by the Board of Commissioners on November 29th, 2022. Site 766 Greenlawn Avenue, PID number 140-003103. The second is case number ANX-35-22, an expedited Type 2 annexation petition, ANX-35-22, was filed with the Franklin County Economic Development and Planning Department on October 24th, 2022. The petition is requesting to annex 0.59 acres from Mifflin Township to the City of Columbus. The petition will be considered by the Board of Commissioners on November 29th, 2022. Site 2588 Agler Road, PID number 190-004668. And the final is case number ANX-36-22. An expedited Type 2 annexation petition, ANX-36-22, was filed with the Franklin County Economic Development and Planning Department on October 24th, 2022. The petition is requesting to annex 37.45 acres from Hamilton Township to the City of Columbus. The petition will be considered by the Board of Commissioners on November 29th, 2022. Site 1200 Vouse Road, PID number 150-002714.
Thank you. Are there any members of the media in person or online that has any questions? All right, hearing or seeing none, that concludes our business for today. Have a wonderful Tuesday. Thank you.